Ow. Smonkin' bonkin'.
Monkin' bonkin'.
Meow. Cat, love you. You're the best.
Ow, cat, you're great. You stabbed me, but I like it.
Good pain.
Sad pain.
Good pain. Remember when you said that you had sad-induced cut myself?
F, yeah. Why?
Because we were playing Black Ops.
Yeah. I have scars on my arm if you want to see them.
Hard pass.
Hard pass. Looks at cat. What should I do? Cat just stares at you with like a bad intent. Do not. The face of despair, just staring back at you.
What if I tried to fill in the
I'm basically thinking of that one image of the cat when the flower gets placed on its head and it like sees God.
I love that picture. That's my favorite picture.
It's a great video. I enjoyed it. And like it's basic.
Open your third eye. Witness God's birth. I can see everything. Oh.
Everything seems so clear.
I've made mistakes.
When you make a singular mistake.
I broke a single block and a zombie phased through a wall.
He was like, hello?
Hi, I'm here to sell you car insurance.
If cactus is better, if cactus is better than iron, I'm going to leave the game.
Time to play Realm Royale. Another 5-minute stream.
Nah, I'm just saying. If it is though, like, imagine how stupid that would be.
I found out that my stream was actually a good 30 minutes, but none of the content was good, so I had to leave it anyway.
Oh.
It was like a good 30 to 45, the one where I got, like, hacked. And then everyone was like, no swearing, and then it was just not a good day. I've been killed twice.
Oh no, the Bombi Bexkimo. Yeah, the way back is desolate, not gonna lie. I found a campfire!
Rad. For a second, I thought you were gonna say Bombi Sicko Mode, and I'm like, bad.
Bombi Sicko Mode. That's Bambi. Something, Keith.
Bambi Sicko Mode.
Bambith Sicketh Mode.
Bambi, like, you know, that movie where it's a kid's movie, but everyone dies and the mom dies.
I like
and
that movie.
Like, yay.
It's a good movie.
He's an orphan.
It's ridiculously sad.
It's very sad.
I love the orphan song where it's literally just like every orphan ever, and Bambi shows up with Batman. They high five and have a coffee. It was pretty great.
What?
Yeah, it was pretty dope. It was it's literally a song where they're like, we're all orphans and sad, and then Bambi and Batman have a high five and then drink coffee, and have a 5 o'clock shadow.
Alright, I don't know what any of that means, but I'm dark and alone.
Why are you dark and spookin'? Fam Squad, why are you perishing?
Cause it's dark. I'm gonna turn my gamma up.
I'm stabbing this slime.
Opacity makes it brighter. It didn't help. Parallax. That also did not help. I died.
Again?
Yes. I am currently not blue.
FO mode.
Hecko mode.
Hecko.
Okay, change that back to that, and that back to that will be good.
Dicko mode.
Well, it can't change my gamma, so I guess I'm gonna be dark. I'm fighting 5 zombies at once. I like this game.
Oh, I found amethyst.
When you find out that amethyst is actually useless in this game.
What?
Amethyst is actually useless in this game.
Nah, it's used for grapplers.
That's about it, though.
I think it's used for a wand, too.
It can be used for decoration, and that's it. I can start to see again. No, I'm going to die again.
Rip.
Don't do that, that's bad. They're surrounding me. They're communicating!
They're communicating.
They're evolving. Thonkin! Rah rah.
If zombies could thonk, I'd be spooked.
I think they can. They can't cannon thonk.
No, they can't. They can't think at all, actually, Keith. It's scientifically impossible.
But why not?
Because only the stem is active, and the stem is the only thing needed for a living thing. Well, not a living thing, but something to, like, move. The stem controls the body to move. However, if you don't have the rest of the brain active, you can't think, feel, or breathe. So, when you can't breathe, air doesn't go to your head, and henceforth, the zombies, they will decay. So that means the more the decay, the less they will survive. So all you have to do for a zombie apocalypse is wait it out. Basically.
That's kind of stupid if you think about it.
Yeah. The virus would be gone, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, it wouldn't. Because if you die, and your brain isn't dead, like if your brain wasn't destroyed, then you still become a zombie. So that threat is always still in the air, except that less of them will be around. It's very prevalent right now in The Walking Dead, what I said. Because so you can see more and more decay during the season, so all they have to do is basically wait it out. They just need to find a cure after that.
So basically, if you die, you have to get shot.
Yeah. And they already do that anyway, so I think
if somebody dies, they're gonna shoot your brain.
Yeah.
This is a really awkward conversation to be having right now.
It's the only mercy that you can give. Like as a reference to StarCraft, one of the voice lines is, "It is the only mercy that we can afford," and it's basically talking about infested, which are basically zombies, with the Zerg. There's a whole thing about those too, is that the way the infested work in StarCraft is that it's a thing with the Zerg it's a kill or be killed factor no matter what.
What do you mean?
When you kill things,
the zombie teleported.
When you kill things, it's an always like kill or be killed situation in the Zerg. So if you kill a big thing, like if you're small, you kill a bigger thing, you grow stronger. If you kill a smaller thing, you don't grow stronger, you just feed yourself. So all you have to do is eat something bigger and stronger than you, and you'll be able to evolve. That's what drives the Zerg. However, Amon was like, "Hey yo, I'm gonna teach you guys to have a hive mind so you can work together and be my slaves." And they were like, "Fam, thanks, but like, we're not gonna be your slaves, dog." And he was like, "Yeah, you are." And they were like, "Okay." And then Amon died because of the overmind. Then he was resurrected. Okay, I'm nerding out, so I'll stop now.
Rad. You're kind of like, you know what that reminded me of? That entire conversation, that rant that you just had, it reminded me of when I told Eric to try and tell me the entire story of Batman through the video games, and he spent 30 minutes doing that, and it was cool.
I feel sad now.
But why? I gave you a compliment.
I didn't know that you were complimenting me.
And on top of that, after like 30 minutes of going, he was like, okay, but where's Bradley? And I'm like, oh, he died. And he's like, alright, rad. And then he continued on for another 15 minutes before he went to bed.
Yeah, I could tell you the entire history in the way that frickin' the way that like everything in
Why is there a vulture in our base?
and I could tell you everything about I didn't know there was one. And I could tell you everything about StarCraft and its lore and deep bases, but
How is there
no
a
one
vulture
really
in our base?
want to or care to hear about that, so I'd rather not do that. I just have a
Understandable.
feeling that people would not care whatsoever.
I mean, maybe. I wouldn't know, because I'm not other people.
So you would care?
A little bit. I like listening to people.
I mean, I do too, yeah, I can agree, but like, fam, after a while, it's probably just gonna get super like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm gonna be
Nine.
like, yup.
That's me. You're probably
Nah, I'ma
wondering
keep
how I got
ranting.
myself.
You're probably wondering how I got myself into this situation. Well,
It
it
all
all started when
started-
I was born.
Oh, do you want a mana crystal, by the way? I already used one.
Sure.
Here you go.
I'm trying to figure out our situation right now. Our situation.
Hurry, get it before Daniel does.
Daniel won't pick it up. He's a lad. He's our boy. He's our boy, dog. He wouldn't do that.
They say there is a person who will tell you how to
Hey,
survive
by the way,
in
I'm
this
putting a
land. Oh
trap
wait,
door
that's
here
me.
so that we don't need to keep putting this up.
Yes. Thank. Crafting.
I'm trying to figure stuff out.
I miss my good character.
Currently, I'm figuring stuff out, and I'm trying not to perish.
Aren't we all? Isn't that pretty much life in general?
I mean, maybe they don't agree, but I kind of agree with that.
That's actually kind of crazy that you just basically described life. Trying not to die, I'm trying to figure things out right now.
Life is a very odd thing. It can be simply said very easily.
Yeah,
All the
I
time.
guess. Hello.
It's pretty simple. Who are you saying hello to?
My cat.
He's a boy.
He's
the only cat I trust. I trust
Can we
no
mine
other
this
cat.
red stuff? Is it ruby or is
No.
it crimson?
It's crimson.
Okay. That's going to spread a lot. Maybe.
Nah, it doesn't spread. It's just ore, dog. It's a demonite.
I fell in a hole. I am gonna perish.
39.
Well, it was nice knowing you, but I am currently
Shout
gonna
out to my
perish.
boy, Nick. He's a lad.
Don't fall
Yeah,
in that
dude.
water thing, by the way. It's pretty bad.
Limes?
You drown.
Right.
Because you can't get out. Bird, kill it.
Okay, I might
Kill the
go on
bird.
a start.
Kill the bird.
Okay, so
Kill the
do you
bird.
know anything about StarCraft?
No
at all?
idea.
Okay, so StarCraft is a strategy-based, real-time based like game where you try to micromanage your people on the playing field while also,
Didn't I play that the other day?
yeah.
Oh, rad.
I wanted to show you it, but you didn't play it.
I did play it, remember? I played through like the first 3 missions.
Yeah, and then he stopped. I'm like, dag.
Alright, go on. Now that I know what we're talking about.
Anyway. So, basically, there's your girl Kerrigan. She's basically the main person in everything at all times because she's Kerrigan.
Alright,
so
good observation.
She's a ghost, and there are 3 races. There's Terran, which are basically humans, Zerg, which are basically animal bugs.
Bugbear.
They're spooky. There's Protoss, which are like, they're super well advanced, and they're very well advanced, but like despise the Zerg. Excuse me. So basically, the Protoss are basically energy based. The Zerg are biomass based. And what basically was going on in the first one is that Terrans are like, yo, let's go populate off of Earth, and they're like, dope. And then they started populating everywhere and started expanding out. The more they expanded out, the more they saw, the more they found the Protoss, they found the Zerg, and then they were like, well, crap, fam squad. And like, basically, they started an all-out war with them because, well, basically, Terrans can be douchebags most of the time.
Well, I mean, I understand that people suck.
Anyway, so they start fighting, and the Overmind is controlling the Zerg. The Overmind is basically, think of it as a queen in a ant hive.
Yeah.
It controls the entire swarm.
You mean a beehive?
Well, that too. You can think of that too. Think of the entire swarm being under one mind, thinking the exact same way all the time.
Yep, hive mind.
So you're going around, and you're like, okay, so this is what's going on. So the Overmind is basically waging war on everybody and everything, and trying to expand the brood, expand everything to control the universe.
Expand the dong.
Yeah. So Protoss are like, I hate you guys. You guys kind of suck. And they're like, well, kind of sucks, innit? And they're like, okay, we're gonna fight you now. And the Protoss start fighting them. Mind, the Protoss despise Zerg. They will, whenever they see like infestation or infested, they will actually open fire on planets, destroying their ecosystem and anything that was living on there, no matter what it was, just to destroy it.
I don't like this guy. Let's destroy everything they know and love. Alright, sounds good.
Yeah, and like, and
hey, that's where my cousin lives. Sucks, innit? I guess.
It kinda sucks, innit?
I guess.
Anyway, so they're sitting there like, oh, well, I hate you too. And then the Zerg are like, screw you guys. The Terran are basically the middlemen. They're kind of like involved with anything and everything. So, there's this guy named Jim Raynor, right?
Yep.
Jim is a Terran. He's Terran born and he lives on Marsara. Marsara starts like seeing these like Zerglings everywhere and Zerg creatures and Hydralisk and stuff like that. It's to the point where it's become a sport to like hunt them.
Fun. Hey,
yeah,
I don't like this guy. Let's shoot them. Alright, let's do it.
So, they're basically treating them like animals. So, the more they look into it, a full-on invasion starts. The Confederacy, which is the, like, government people, of Marsara, are, like, basically protecting the place. Except, they're really, really corrupt and really not good at their job.
Nice.
So, the people at Marsara are like, yo, can you help us out? And they're like, nah, dog, we're gonna, like, sit over here, you guys do your own thing. And basically abandons them. Well, Marsara people are like, dog, listen here, Thicky Jr. I'm gonna stab you, fam, if you don't help us out. And he's like, dope. And then they don't do anything, and they're like, we're at our last stretch. If you don't help us, we're going to wage war on you. And they're like, dope. And they're sitting there like, okay, fine, have it your way. So then they start basically sitting there, and they're like, I really don't like the Confederacy. Start rising up. They start opening in the streets to anybody protesting. Basically, they're being British people.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
Sucks
so...
in it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Sucks in it. And then, as they're doing all of this, Jim's like, oh, we gotta fix something. And then he's starting to go with the Confederacy to maybe, like, help them out or, like, try to figure this out. So he goes with them, starts doing some stuff with them. Like, this is basically the mission, so... He starts going with them and being like, okay, cool. And then they do it, and then they're like, okay, plant these here. And he goes, what are they? And they're like, don't worry about it. And he's like, okay, what are they first? And they're like, don't worry about it. You have your orders. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, okay. And then you're sitting there like, okay, so, let's do this. You plant it, and you realize, wait, this ain't it, Chief. And Zerg starts swarming in places and areas because it turns out the way they communicate, exactly like Zerg, exactly like ants, the way they communicate is with like pheromones, but instead they do it with like psionic abilities.
Oh,
so
cool.
you're basically putting a psi emitter in the middle of an area to swarm Zerg so badly at an area for where they can't fight back. The Protoss see this and they're like, dog, I'm about to like eat you, real talk. And they basically exterminate the planet full of every life that's on there. I'm like, yo. Heck, that was epic. So Jim gets away, he's like, what the hell were you doing? And he's like, don't worry about it, Doug. And he's like, I'm done with you guys. And he starts revolting against them. And he goes to infiltrate them, and he sees that they've been experimenting on all of them, like on Zerg and stuff, to see how they work and tick. That's why they figured out about the psi emitter stuff. You with me so far?
Yup.
Okay, dope. So, the more they look through this, the more they're like, fam, these guys are like douche heads. And then they're like, okay, we need to do something about this. So then, they're like, full on revolt, let's get this bread, gamers. And they like start like protesting, fighting them, and they start arresting a bunch of people. And it's basically turning into like a super problem. So the Zerg are like, okay, more psi emitters, fight time, and they like swarm the planet again. But this time they get taken back and revolted back. So the Confederacy gets basically, there's a dude named Emperor Manx, or Arcturus Manx. Remember his name. He is the biggest douchebag you'll ever think of when it comes to the series. He is a giant penis face. He is an absolute douche face, and you cannot change my mind. Yeah, he's a doucher mass. And you're sitting there like, okay, this guy seems pretty good. He wants to stop the Confederacy. Dope. So he's like, yo, I'm gonna propose something. Dog, I'm gonna propose something. So, what if we fight the Confederacy, and my group, the Sons of Korhal, stop it, then we take over, so our government isn't corrupt anymore. And then And then Rainer's like, fam squad. That sounds dope. And he's like, I know, right? It sounds great. We should do that. So then they do, and they start doing missions, stuff like that. And then Jim meets Kerrigan. Remember her? That chick? Yeah. So Kerrigan, she's bullying, right? She's just bullying, sitting there, and then she takes out like a Confederate people at like a militia base to gain followers, and then they kill the Confederate people there. And then they're like, yo, okay, we're getting some followers, we should figure this out. So then, they go to a place, what's the place called? It's talked about over the series so much. I'm trying to think of it. What is its name? The place is super gay.
No offense to gay people.
Yeah.
Hello? Okay, I thought something happened and I got panicked.
Tersonis, that's what it's called. Okay, so Tarsonis, is a planet that the Confederacy was like, yo, dog, this is our main base, we're gonna rule here. And the population was the biggest in the sector. Keep that in mind. It was the biggest in the sector. So they're sitting there, right? They're there. The population is 2 billion Terrans.
A lot of boys.
Yeah. So
why is it snowing through our ceiling here?
Yeah, I don't know. Manx goes, yo, we're gonna give the Confederacy a taste of their own medicine. And they steal psi-emitters from them. Get General Duke on their side to be like a spy. And they get psi-emitters. They plant them on Tarsonis and kill the entire planet from how many Zerg that showed up.
That's a lot of people.
It destroyed the Confederacy, killed every person on that planet, and basically Kerrigan was left on the planet. Raynor wanted her out, and Manx delayed it. He said, no, we're leaving. And then he left, and Raynor was like, fam squad, that was my fault, I could have done something. And she basically heckin' perished. I'm like, fam squad. No, that's my boy. And, so this strikes up a rivalry between Kerrigan and Manx the entire rest of the series. So she hates his guts from the rest of that part. I want you to get that through your skull. She despises him past that point.
Alright.
Like with a passion. Anyway, so she gets taken by the Zerg. They pull back, and then the Zerg starts showing up. So the rest of the Zerg missions are basically protecting, moving the Chrysalis the entire time. That Chrysalis is holding Kerrigan in it. They're infesting her basically, making her better, suit her to control the swarm. While they're doing this, like a bunch of people are trying to stop them. Protoss, Terran, like you name it. They're showing up and they're like, dog, that ain't happening, Chief. And she finally hatches on Char, which is the Zerg home planet. Well, I mean, what's the name of it? What's the name of like a planet that's your home? I forgot the name. Keith. I forgot the name of, like, is it home planet? Or like...
For what?
For like, it's basically their like main planet where they all like mostly are.
I don't know.
Anyway, so they're like sitting there and they're like, dog, we have a new ruler. And she starts bullying on the sector. She just starts breaking, killing everybody in the sector. And nobody's dealing with the Zerg anymore. They're like, we need to do something about this. And then the the Protoss are like, dogs, we got this. And they started eradicating Zerg planets. Like, a lot. Like, too much. And they start rolling through. And they're like, screw you guys. We got this. And they start just ripping through. Just like, going in straight up like, I'm gonna screw you guys over. You just keep going through. And then, their home planet, Ire, the Protoss is home. Yeah, that's why they say that. And the reason they say that is because the Zerg all went to this one planet to start breaking the Protoss. And they're like, dogs, hate you guys. And they destroy the Protoss. Just purely like, they go in and overwhelm in mere hours. They start rushing in, killing a bunch of them, just going in, and they're like, why are there so many? And they just keep fighting through. And they all have to retreat to Shakuras. Shakuras is the Dark Templar. So there's Templar, Dark Templar, and Tal'Darim. Those are the main like Protoss people, like races, I guess. You still with me? Okay, good. Okay, so the reason they say my life for Ire is because they want the planet back so bad. They risked everything for this place. They, in one of the StarCraft 2 campaigns, they went in to take it back. They do, but then Amon shows up and is like, dog, I'm gonna eat your booter. And then he does, and you're like, bam, squad. What the frickle? So Amon, Zelnaga. Do you know what a Zelnaga is?
Nope.
I'm just checking. Okay, Zelnagas are gods.
Oh.
In this, they're gods. They created the cycle, which is they make something, and then they get rid of it to make something better. And it's an infinite cycle. And it's legit called the infinite cycle. It's horrible. So someone else made a they were like, we're gonna make another race besides these two ones that we've always made, which is the Zerg and the Protoss.
All right.
Energy and biomass. They together, combined, they make one of them. They make a Zelnaga. But the thing is, technologically, it's impossible to do that. Impossible in quotation marks. That's what they thought. They thought it was impossible. But then, later on, Kerrigan becomes one, it's a whole nother thing. So they start going in. They're like, okay, cool. So they're like, okay, we're here now. We took Ire. Cool. They rush out. The Protoss are broken. They're freaking out. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And the only reason they lost that entire thing was because of my main man in Sam's main man, Zeratul. My main boy, Zeratul. He is the most well-renowned Protoss ever. He is the most well-renowned Dark Templar, you name it. Zeratul is a genius, fam. He's like the absolute mad lad of our generation, dog. He's sitting there, he's like, fam squad, don't worry, I got this, fam squad. And he just listens to prophecies, tries to figure stuff out before they happen. He said that Ire would not be attacked and that they'd win the fight because how broken the Zerg are and how they can't cooperate. But the thing is that that Amon took over their minds to make them more efficient, to make them better, and Zeratul didn't know this. And he and everybody, including himself, blames him for like doing that, like for not like to not doing it correctly, because it basically cost them Ire.
All right.
Yeah. So, man, he was not doing so hot. So he's like, okay, guys, got you. So he just tries to help him out, doesn't really work out that much. So they try to figure it out. It's basically a very boring campaign. The Protoss one kind of sucks, not gonna lie. So then StarCraft 2 rolls around. And then Raynor shows up and he's like, dogs, I'm back. And he starts gathering pieces of the Keystone or the Xel'Naga artifact. It basically... It's a super weapon that goes against Zerg. Zerg despise it. Because in one of the missions, you literally use it to burn their entire, like, everything on that, like, in that area. And they reverted Kerrigan from being infested back into being human.
Oh.
But the thing is that she can still control Zerg. So you're like, dog. What the frick? So she's like, yo, I'm back, guys. And that's basically... The Terran one is very weird. It's literally just rolling through. So, Raynor hates Manx, great? For what he did and how corrupt he is. So, Raynor's like, screw you, Heckfrick. And he basically destroys his grip over the Dominion a bit. But he bought his way through to get his name reborn and like rebuilt, so he doesn't look like a douche anymore. So he's just like bowling now, and he's like, well, what was that for? You know? His friend Tygus was told by Manx to kill Kerrigan at all costs, because if he didn't, a bomb in his suit would explode.
Well, that sucks.
So he would die. Yeah, and I'm like, dog. So Raynor had to shoot him. His best friend in the entire world, and he had to shoot him. He shot him over Kerrigan.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
So then, Zeratul prophesizes that the entire world would end, and that Amon, if Amon was to come back, everybody would die. The entire universe will go under darkness, and that no one would be free and nothing would live. And it would be because if Kerrigan died, Raynor promised to Zeratul, if Kerrigan died, if she was ever in danger, to sacrifice his life for her. Because if she died, the entire universe would end.
Oh.
Just think about that. She used to be the bane of everybody, and she's the entire universe's existence on her shoulder.
Fun.
The reason he looked into the future, and Zeratul, he looked into the future, and the literal Protoss were dead. The Terrans were already dead, and the Protoss had their final last stand against the Endless Zerg from Amon. They legit they only survived the minimum amount of time that you had to survive was 20 minutes.
That's a long time.
No, it isn't. For an entire battle, 20 minutes? They only survived 20 minutes.
Oh.
Their entire armada and fleet perished. Like, everybody's dead. And they all went to this one place to have their final last stand. And they sealed away knowledge to keep and maintain their mistakes so they don't have to go over them again. So Zeratul's like, dude, if she dies, we're all gonna die. Artanis legit said it was Kerrigan. How would we have known? That's how much people hate her. Anyway, in the Zerg campaign, the Dominion show up. They're like, hey guys, we're here now. We're gonna mess up your day. And they basically take Raynor hostage, and they set Kerrigan free.
Rad.
This only influences Kerrigan's need to kill Mengsk, so she swears to go after him. She destroys an orbital gun, and she's like, alright, it's game time. And she starts going through. She goes to Char, reclaims it, kills General Warfield, their best general in their entire, army, ever. And, she kills him, and then she goes to Xeris, the birthplace of the Zerg. There are still Zerg there that are not corrupted and or had Amon's corruption, to be mind controlled, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And they're basically Zerg that don't have a hive mind and evolve constantly. So one eats another, they evolve, they get bigger, they grow stronger. The way Zerg are made are cells fighting each other constantly, growing stronger, and prevailing constantly over an immense circle until they are turned into a Zerg. And then a Zerg fights more, gets bigger, keeps going. If it dies, the other one gets bigger, keeps going. It's an endless cycle that keeps going. And then she goes there and she's like, dope, let's get this bread. She gets into a pool, the first spawning pool ever to exist. She comes out of her chrysalis and she's like, I'm new. She's basically the Queen of Blades with her conscience and with her humanity. except stronger, cooler looking, and purple.
Oh. Is purple important?
Yeah. That's the swarm color. It's the swarm colors.
Oh.
Purple is their color. Yeah. So,
about that.
So she's like, dogs, I'm gonna go kill Manx now. And she kills every pack leader ever in there except one. And his name is Dahaka, and he's like, yo, you get me essence so I can evolve, and I'm gonna stick with you and we can fight together. And she's like, dope. That sounds good, fam. Come on, let's go. And he's the last ever primal pack leader. Because she killed all of them.
Fun.
So they're like, let's get this bread. So she goes to a place called Sky Gear Station. They are experimenting with hybrids. Do you want to know, can you guess what they're made of? What two races they are?
Zerg. And Terran?
Nope. Close.
Is it one of the gods?
Protoss. Zerg and Protoss.
I was close. I couldn't remember
They're
what
called
Protoss.
hybrids. They are not them exactly, but there's a dude named, I hate his name, but I always remembered it until now. I hate his name. He sounds German, but basically he's a shapeshifter, right? He's a shapeshifter, and he's been trying to revive Amon for so long, and keeps trying, and he needs to make these hybrids to do that. So he asked Manx, yo, could I do that so they could be under your control and that you could own the galaxy? He's like, dope, let's do that. But he deceived him. He can't control them at all.
Sucks.
Like, at all.
That's tough.
So he's like, dope, now I can do that now. So hybrid. Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. Hybrid are big gay. Like, not gonna lie. Hybrid are big sucky.
That's tough.
Like, fighting them, they have shield. They have better stats than
the game
like
closed.
You name it, they're better at it. So they're just bullying currently. And Kerrigan's like, I'm destroying this facility. She destroys it. Off.
Yeah.
They have a whole history I'm not gonna delve into because it's not super important.
Rad.
He's infested and he's like, yo, dog, I got you. I still have like some humanity and stuff in me, so I'm kind of dope, and I got some psionic abilities. She's like, yo, you're rad, fam. Let's stick together, you know? And yeah, he starts going in with her. She has to start fighting him and like holding off the beam, so because if it touches anybody, it's gonna instantly kill them.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so he's like, well, frickle-lickle then, you know? And he's like, well, So he's rushing through, trying to figure this out, and he's like,
Tough.
So then he's like, finally, I know what to do. And he's like, and he straight up, by the way, you need to go online or something. I can't invite you.
Alright. We don't do that here. It's not Kerrigan. I mean, you could look that up.
Narude! Dr. Narude, that's what his name is.
Naruto.
No, his name's just not Dr. Narude.
Naruto.
Dude. It hurts for him.
F.
Anyway, Narude is a big douchey head. And,
Dumb douchey
yeah, fam. So he's like, dog, I'ma go kill you. And they destroy the temples. He's like, frick, I gotta run. And Kerrigan's like, you ain't going nowhere. So then he goes after her. I mean, she goes after him. And he's like, dog, I'm gonna go skedaddle on your face. And he's like, no. And then he's just running. Sorry, running. And then